went and where it is now.
All right, Caitlin, thank you very much. And of course, as Caitlin's emphasizing, right, I mean, there were boxes and boxes and boxes of this stuff, storage rooms of this stuff. It meant some of it obviously highly classified. We're talking about one document here. So legal analyst Ryan Goodman joins me. And this one document is obviously very significant because we have Trump on tape talking about it, its existence and his inability to declassify it, which of course goes against his core defense. So you heard Jeff Zeleny ask Trump repeatedly about the documents, talk about them at all. Why were they at Bedminster? You heard him do so. What do you think is the best possible explanation right now for Trump's motivation in keeping the documents?
So the CNN reporting is in some sense a breakthrough on this particular question. It's being the one that's in some ways hanging around that hasn't been answered. What is his motive for holding on to the documents? And here we have him, it seems like, in this situation, using them for the motive of his public image. He's trying to control the narrative. There's just been a report out that Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, stopped him from potentially attacking Iran in his final days in the office. And he says, oh, no, I've got the document that counteracts that because it shows you that Milley had this plan for an attack on Iran. That's him just trying to control the narrative and his image, and that would be a reason to hold on to the documents because he could use them in that purpose.
Right, to use it in that way. And of course, just to belabor the obvious, of course, the U.S. would have those sorts of plans for many places that they don't intend on attacking. So the existence of one does not mean that there is intent to do so. I know it seems obvious, but I'm just making sure I say it.
Yes.
Okay, what about the other point Caitlin was making, though, about, that they're trying to draw this distinguish not just between classified, and at different levels of classification, but also of what is seriously sensitive and not. Do these sorts of levels matter here when we're talking about charges beyond possibly obstruction?
So it doesn't matter at one level at all.
Yeah.
For the Espionage Act, it is just, as Caitlin said, it's just national defense information that has to be closely held. Mm-hmm. Trump in that conversation is also saying, I can't share this with you. He knows that it's closely held, so it satisfies those elements. Then the next question is, well, what if it is super highly classified? It actually could potentially impede the prosecutors because the U.S. intelligence community does not like to share that information or even provide it for prosecutors at a trial. So if it's if it's below that level, if it's just secret means that the unauthorized disclosure could reasonably be expected to cause serious damage to U.S. national security. Attack plans for any country as a contingency would be that is the Goldilocks standard because then the intelligence community would be more likely to allow prosecutors.
So then a jury could see it, right? You could see it as opposed to this other where it's a sort of just trust us, we don't want to talk about it. Okay, so one of Trump's lawyers, Jim Trusty, he talked about this last night, and he said they're still trying to arrange a meeting, Team Trump is, with the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, after sending a letter demanding one, and that they still haven't had one. Here is some of what he said.
Prosecutorial misconduct has infected this case, and we need to get it to the Attorney General directly. Before he makes any important decisions, he needs to recognize just how far afield this case has gotten.
So what do you make of what he's saying and their demand to meet with Garland himself, and Garland, at least as far as we know to this point, complete lack of response on this? What does this translate into?
I think that they think there's an indictment coming down soon-ish, and that this is their opportunity to make that last-minute meeting with the Justice Department, which is not super unusual, to get an opportunity to say, here's why you should not indict my client. But the idea that they would go to Garland now is somewhat bizarre. If we do find that there's a report of that meeting, then I do think that we're within like a 24, 48-hour period of watching to see if an indictment does drop, because they might give them that like gratuitous opportunity to present their side of the story before making that final call.
Oh, well, interesting you say if that happens that you think it is literally 24 to 48 hours away from that decision. All right, thank you very much, Ryan.